To the best of my knowledge, South Africa is in trouble. The Football Association is responsible for ensuring that only eligible players are fielded. If a team fields an ineligible player and the valid protest is upheld, standard penalties include the forfeiture of the match. The result is typically overturned to a 3-0 defeat for the offending team. Now, some might wonder, because this is what is creating the buzz now, some might wonder why it has taken so long. It is simply because the process can take weeks to months, as FIFA may request additional information from the associations involved. Simple.
Oliseh, oh, what a goal! Sunday Oliseh!
I've received several messages from mostly Nigerians wanting to know if and why FIFA is yet to sanction South Africa for fielding an ineligible player, Teboho Mokoena, in their 2-0 win versus Lesotho. Now, take note that I am not FIFA, but I am sharing my knowledge to help you understand better. According to FIFA regulations for the 2026 World Cup preliminary competition, a player who accumulates 2 yellow cards, that's 2 yellow cautions, across different matches in the qualifiers is automatically suspended for their team's subsequent match. It doesn't matter who that is, suspended. This renders them ineligible to participate in the next game. Hence, by fielding Teboho Mokoena in that win by South Africa against Lesotho, to the best of my knowledge, South Africa is in trouble. The Football Association is responsible for ensuring that only eligible players are fielded. If a team fields an ineligible player and the valid protest is upheld, standard penalties under the FIFA Disciplinary Code, I think that is Article 17 or 19, includes this. 1. There is the forfeiture of the match. The result is typically overturned to a 3-0 defeat for the offending team, regardless of the actual score, resulting in a loss of 3 points for South Africa in this case, and an award of 3 points to Lesotho. I repeat, award of 3 points to Lesotho. But I would like to precisely state that only Lesotho benefits from these 3 points, no other team else, and somebody must be attributed these 3 points. Now, secondly, goal difference would also be adjusted accordingly, meaning South Africa's +2 from their 2-0 win would become now a -3. I think they have now +8. So you can figure out what that means. That would be like a +5 for them now. There is normally a financial fine, I believe around $7,000 to $10,000, but that is small stuff for SAFA, I think, imposed on the National Association, in this case, the South African Football Association, or SAFA. I also believe that there are additional fines or sanctions that could also apply here if the FIFA Disciplinary Committee feels that the violation impacts the competition's integrity or something like that. So someone has to be sanctioned for it because integrity is very important here. I believe the ineligible player, in this case, Teboho Mokoena, may also even face a personal suspension or fine, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure of this. We should be aware that FIFA judicial bodies have discretion to impose any appropriate disciplinary measures based on the circumstances, prioritizing the competition's integrity, which is in this case is the FIFA 2026 World Cup. In fact, I think a FIFA's precedent is our own Nigeria. I think something like this happened to us in the 2017, where we had to have a forfeiture for a similar violation. I don't know if you guys remember, but I think something like that. Now, this is where I need you to be very attentive. However, if no valid protest was filed or if FIFA determines extenuating factors, for example, administrative errors without intent, penalties could be mitigated or waived, though this is rare. Now, this is where you might ask me, what are the necessary procedures for actions to be taken? Hey, if you're hooked on these incredible stories and want more epic insights, smash that like button, subscribe now to our podcast channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. Share with your friends and join our community on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, X, and Facebook for exclusive updates and more unforgettable tales. Now let's get back to the episode. For any disciplinary action against South Africa to be taken, the following procedures to the best of my knowledge, must be followed. There has to be a protest filing by the opponent, not by somebody else. There has to be a protest filing by the opponent that is affected directly by this, in this case, Lesotho. The protesting team must submit a written protest to the FIFA match commissioner within 2 hours of the match's end, specifying the grounds of the protest. For example, in this case, the player ineligibility due to yellow card suspension. In this case, this must be followed by a written. No, I think this must be followed by a full written report, including a copy of the initial protest sent to the FIFA Disciplinary Committee via email, I believe, within 24 or 48 hours of the match. That I'm not sure. I'm not very sure now. Sorry. A protest fee must be paid, which is refunded if the protest is fully upheld. But that is chicken change for such an important issue. Forgive me to say. Protests are only admissible if based on specific grounds, like ineligible player participation. The grounds have to be specific. Untimely or unfounded protests are disregarded, and irresponsible ones may result in fines for the protester. So it has to be well compact and sure when you make this now. There is a FIFA Disciplinary Committee review that will take place. The committee will investigate the claim based on the protest, reviewing evidence, in this case, such as match reports, yellow card records, and team sheets. Decisions are made considering the FIFA Disciplinary Code, not any other code, considering the FIFA Disciplinary Code, with a focus on facts like confirmed yellow card accumulation, making the player ineligible. Now, some might wonder, because this is what is creating the buzz now, some might wonder why it has taken so long. It is simply because the process can take weeks to months, as FIFA may request additional information from the associations involved. Simple. That is very, very clean. Don't worry yourself. This is the part that concerns us, Nigerians, the most at the moment. That is notification and implementation. If upheld, FIFA notifies the association of the sanctions, not individuals, no matter who you are. They notify them of match forfeitures or fines. Nobody else. The associations. It's an association confederation, I remind you. The points and standings are adjusted immediately. So if the points have not been adjusted now, there has not been any decision taken yet. We should also take note that there is an appeals process, if applicable. The decision can be appealed to the FIFA Appeals Committee within deadlines that are, I think it is 10 days to 2 weeks or something like that. But there has to be the grounds for procedural errors. That becomes very, very important. Now, a further appeal is possible to the Court of Arbitration of Sports in Lausanne. Now, those are the big ones in Switzerland to judge this. But though I feel this is rare for a straightforward ineligibility case like this one, which we are faced with now, we now need to find out if Lesotho did file a timely protest in March 2025 when this happened. But as of today, in September 2025, FIFA has not issued a final decision, which is leaving this outcome pending. Now, when it comes to Nigeria, I will vividly advise one thing, because this is dangerous now. I will advise you, my compatriots, and anybody who has Nigeria's interest at heart. Any points deduction sanction is useless to us as Nigeria if we do not beat South Africa on Tuesday. So let's focus first on winning, and if possible, winning well, as goals differences will count eventually, as we have seen now. However, I must say that with the victory over Rwanda, there is now a real possibility to qualify. It is useless if South Africa is sanctioned and we don't beat South Africa and we don't get positive results in the last 2 games. But then again, I just became optimistic.